You are now into another Chilla production.
I remember when I was hungry. I remember when I had nothing. Shout out to the ones held it down for me. Them the ones eat with me when I'm hungry. Fuck all the people that doubted me. Fuck all the people that changed up. I ain't got shit for y'all niggas except my two middle fingers.
Stay splendid, stay splendid. It's your boy Splendid Gamer EGW. Back today with another episode of Let's Talk Boruto. Now, I had to let this chapter sit with me for like a couple days, cause the spoilers came out, you know. And when the spoilers came out, I'm talking about Twitter was going crazy, Facebook going crazy, anywhere and anywhere that you could find Boruto artwork, they were going crazy with the spoilers. So, you know, I had to let this chapter sit with me because this was a very dialogue heavy chapter, and this chapter review today is not a traditional chapter review like I would normally do. I'm giving my whole thoughts and theories and speculations and whatnots, you know, with this, you know, description and depiction of what happened in chapter 75. So the chapter started off with Amato pretty much telling Shikamaru and Naruto about the abilities of Ada and Damon, and pretty much we get this revelation that not only can Damon reflect attacks, like if he's touching somebody, but the person that he's touching also gains that power. So essentially, that little scary movie with the twins sitting at the end of the hallway, if Damon was to be paired up with somebody like that, they'd essentially be unstoppable, unmovable, unshakable, unbreakable. So pretty much, Boruto's like, man, that sounds like a crazy ass ability. And, you know, Damon's just sitting there smirking and shit like, hey, you want to try it out? Boruto's like, nah, bro, I'm good. And we get this panel of Kawaki looking at Damon pretty serious. And then we get the next panel to him being slapped by nothing. You know when your mama used to say, boy, I'll go upside your head right now. Like, literally upside his head right now. Like, so Kawaki's like, yeah, bro, that ability is like totally legit, you know. So Naruto's like, bro, like, how'd you even come up with stuff like this, you know? And pretty much when Amato start talking very fucking crazy. He's like, oh, I didn't come up with these techniques, I'm not a god. Like, that's only something a god can do. What I did, however, is took something that already existed and transplanted it. So essentially what he's saying is that these abilities had already existed, and all he did was find a way to put them into the body. And by that, Amato let us know that the abilities came from a Suzuki by the name of Shibai. Shibai. Yes, Shibai. Apparently, Shibai was this Otsutsuki god that went around from planet to planet, manifesting these chakra fruits, eating these chakra fruits, and upgrading his body. And he upgraded himself to the point by, you know, doing karma resurrection, etc., etc., and he became a god. Now, the theory is that Amato has is that pretty much he became so strong that he didn't need a physical body, so he deliberately discarded his body. So Katasuke was pretty much, you know, Shikamaru asked Katasuke, is that even like possible? And he's like, bruh, I can't say yeah and I can't say no, because after seeing the freaking technology around the airship, talking about the puppets that everybody was looking for, you know, talking about the technology inside of Kawaki, you know, nothing is impossible when it comes to this situation, is what Katasuke is saying. So, you know, pretty much Amato's then begins to continue stand that Shibai had this ability that's called Divine Shinjutsu, like Shin, not Sin, Shin Jutsu. So he said it's neither ninjutsu or sage art. It's a divine ability within itself. So essentially, what he was doing was making what would be almost like a natural phenomenon. Like he could freaking make thunder, he can make windstorms, all kind of junk just by like yelling and clapping his hands and swinging his arms, you know, like really fucking overpowered, you know. And essentially, what Amato is trying to say is that he wants to revive his daughter, and because he wants to revive his daughter, he wants to try to use karma to bring back his daughter, because the traditional method that he had tried to do to bring back his daughter did not work. Now, the method in question that he tried to bring back his daughter was through cloning. Now, he had a daughter by the name of Ekabi. You know, she was about 24 years old, and she got a mysterious illness that no one knows about, and, you know, it was uncurable. And for him being a big brain scientist, instead of him trying to come up with a medicine or a cure for her, he decided, you know what, I'm gonna just clone her a brand new body. So after his daughter died, he took her brain, digitized it. How is beyond me, but this is shonen, so y'all bear with me. He took her brain, digitized it, took her memories, you know, her voice, all that, digitized it, and was able to put it inside of the body of a clone that was made. However, once the clone came out, you know, he was gravely mistaken, because even though it looked like his daughter, had the memories of his daughter, it was not his daughter. That's when we get this like very like mysterious panel of Jigen pulling up on Amato, who seems to be in his own laboratory. It doesn't look like he was in anybody else's laboratory, but that's not been fully explained. However, you know, that's when he says, yeah, that's when he decided to work with Jigen, because Jigen said he would bring his daughter back to life. Now, he didn't know how Jigen was going to bring his daughter back to life. He didn't know if Jigen was actually going to bring his daughter back to life. But from what Amato is trying to convey to everybody is that when he found out that Ishiki Jigen was going to make a chakra fruit and it was going to absorb all the life on the planet, that's when he was like, nah, I don't want to work with y'all no more. Now, if I don't know, man, I totally do not buy it. Not at all, not at all. So as he's talking about his daughter, we get the panel of Delta. Delta pulls up on Sarada and Kawaki, and pretty much she's like, hey, like, I want to go see Ada. Can y'all go take me to go see Ada? And Sarada's like, nah, like, girl, you tripping. Like, you is totally suggestible to her ability, and we gonna get in so much trouble if you even go over there. So heck nah. And at the same time, Sumire is running up, and she yells out the new shutdown code for Delta, which is Delta, time to go to sleep. Which seems like it's almost the same exact shutdown code as the original Delta that we have first seen him put to sleep. So I'm really concerned about that. Really concerned about that. However, that's when we get the reveal as well that the clone body that he had made for his daughter is Delta. So everybody that was convinced that Delta was Amato's daughter, they was motherfucking right. That's right. So Shikamaru not really buying the whole, oh, you had a daughter, you had a cloner, Shikamaru goes over everybody's head, you know, Amato, Naruto, and is like, hey, Ada, I want you to go look back into the past and tell me if these events actually happened. And, you know, as Naruto's like, bruh, you're going too far. Amato's like, oh, how could you? But, like, you know, even Ada's like, you know, like, Shikamaru, I like the way you think. Like, I'm gonna go do this for you, though. So, as she's going back to look into the past, that's when we get Momoshiki communicating to Boruto through his thoughts. So, I'm not sure if y'all are keeping up with My Hero Academia, the manga. Um, Spoiler warning. You know, 3, 2, 1. Essentially, what's going on is the same thing that Awful One, or whatever the evil villain's name is, in Shigaraki. Boruto and Momoshiki are having the same thing, where their bodies, their thoughts are coming together in the same brain. So, while everything was happening, Boruto's thoughts were entering Momoshiki's thoughts. And once he realized it, he's like, hey, let me see if I can communicate with Jit. So he's pretty much like, hey, boy, if you could hear me, react. Boruto's just looking like, yo, like, what's going on? So pretty much he's like, hey, man, apparently, like, when I revived your body the way I did, our minds became linked. And, for the time being, don't let Kawaki know that we can chat right now, because I don't want no problems with Kawaki right now. But pretty much, like, Momoshiki was saying that he doesn't trust Amato. And so Boruto began stating, like, yeah, the whole Shibai stuff, it sounded shady to me. And Momoshiki's like, nah, that part is actually true. And he actually guessed correct that he is no longer in this dimension. You know what I'm saying? And so, pretty much, boom. The thing that's concerning Momoshiki is Ada's abilities, because Momoshiki has knowledge of all Shinjutsu, and because he has knowledge of all Shinjutsu, this ability that Ada has to captivate hearts is something that Momoshiki has never heard of. And because it's something that he's never heard of, he believes that Amato is lying. Now, the reason why he's thinking he's lying, because he said that all their abilities came from Shibai. If the ability to capture hearts didn't come from Shibai, guess what? That means all the abilities didn't come from Shibai. That means you just told me a lie. You told me part of the truth, but you ain't tell me the whole truth. You dig? So Ada, in the same time, is getting back to Shikamaru, and pretty much lets him know, like, yeah, those events, quote unquote, like the literally biggest bold text, those events were true. She ain't saying nothing about everything else. She said those events were true. So in this chapter, it's really written that Amato, even though he's telling us everything right now, everything he's telling us is still a lot of malarkey. It's not the full truth. He is still lying to everybody. That is what we're getting from this chapter. And before this chapter ends, while Boruto and Kawaki are still, talking about the whole Amato junk or whatever, pretty much Boruto is able to actually see into the future via the Byakugan. And what we end up getting, guys, ladies and gentlemen, we get a panel of the Hokage faces. Not just all the Hokage faces, too. I just want to point that out. We got Tsunade, we got Kakashi, and we got Naruto. The Hokage faces, the last 3 Hokages. Then we get these other ninjas saying, you found him. He couldn't have gotten that far yet. Don't let him escape. And we get another panel to Boruto's Byakugan. Then we get a panel of Team 10 with Shikadai in the front looking like he's attempting to use the Shadow Possession Jutsu. He says, that just ain't what a friend does, you hear? And then we get another panel of Boruto's Byakugan once again. Then we see Sarada running around saying, Mitsuki, found him over here. Ladies and gentlemen, we get a panel of Sage Mode Mitsuki with the bold, squiggly text saying, you have managed to truly anger me. In the final panel is Kawaki with his arm all transformed. He has the horn going on and he's got blood on his face, man. We get the last page of the manga with Boruto holding his hand, looking shocked and scared and puzzled as fuck, and says, "What was that?" We have Momoshiki looking down, Boruto still looking kind of like, "What the fuck did I just see?" While Ada's just sitting there just watching him with the dot dot dot. Ladies and gentlemen, what do we take from this, man? First things first, bro. Amato can't be trusted. I'm still on that. I'm really on that. Second thing, Shibai Otsutsuki. Now, everybody was all talking about, maybe there are other Otsutskis. I was definitely convinced that maybe Shinki had became a vessel, But if what they're saying about Shibai is true, essentially his body might still be able to produce a chakra fruit if fed to a Ten Tails. I mean, granted, they said you have to feed a living Otsutsuki. However, if this body is what you would call a godly body, a divine body, it should still provide a divine fruit, which actually would have way more hacks than just eating fucking maybe 5 chakra fruits. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I hope that's not the case, because that's gonna be wild, bro. You're gonna be looking for a corpse, essentially. And as well, bro, who's to say Orochimaru don't got that corpse already? And that's why they really trying to get in the Leaf Village. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'ma always tie Orochimaru back into the story, because the fact now that we have Sage Mode Mitsuki getting ready to face off against Kawaki. Ladies and gentlemen, this might be the instance when Mitsuki dies, y'all. I hate to say it, because I don't want to see Mitsuki die. I love Mitsuki. Mitsuki has been a very refreshing face to see for the Boruto spinoff, because he's not like Sasuke, he's not like Naruto. I mean, he's kind of like Sai, but he's just really raw as fuck. You know what I'm saying? And it's because he's a scientific human, a scientifically made human. So he's not an organic human. You know what I'm saying? That's what made Mitsuki so cool. So there was always the theories that Mitsuki could be Otsutsuki, and then that last chapter when he got affected by Ada, everybody's in the community is like, "Oh, well, he's definitely not Otsutsuki." Me, on my end, I truly believe that was just that one-time thing. You dig what I'm saying? It's you go and test the limits of an ability to see how to work against it. So that was Mitsuki seeing how fatal it was, and now he's not going to be affected. You dig what I'm saying? This is going to be the power. Bruh, this is literally Robot Wars now. Orochimaru's robot versus Amato's robot and freaking Kawaki, bruh. First thing, man, for real, this could be that moment when Boruto gets freaking slashed over his eye, because the way how the panels are drawn, that's another thing, bro. Y'all gotta read the manga. The way how the panels are drawn, bro. If you go to all the, the whole chapter, all the panels are straight up. You did? You can just read them like normal. However, these panels in particular are all angled. You dig? It's almost as if you were lying on your back looking upward. That is the way how the panels are angled. As if you were to be looking up around you, trying to, either get up or see what's around you, or what's, So, seeing that this was a premonition, a glimpse into the future, this could be all from Boruto's point of view, and Boruto's already on the ground. You dig? This could be the moment that, because Kawaki was already on edge so freaking bad, that now that he knows that Momoshiki is alive, he attempts to go fight try to kill Boruto again. Now, the difference between, it happening before and it happening now is now we have Ada there, now we have Damon there, and Amato, whose true intentions we don't know, because in this chapter he says the reason why he re-put Karma back onto Kawaki was because he wanted Kawaki to put a Karma onto a new clone body of Delta to revive his daughter. Now, there's more to this, because he never mentioned to Naruto and them that he put a failsafe inside of Kawaki. Now, or the shutdown code. There you go, the shutdown code. So, if he put down a shutdown code, there's no telling if he put in a override program as well, because essentially what Amato is doing is he's taking flesh, but instead of like having an actual brain, he's implanting technology. So like it's the essential, it's like getting a prosthetic, but it's a prosthetic brain. So he put this prosthetic brain inside of him, and the prosthetic brain essentially it reacts to the nerves and makes the body turn into this and turn into that, and then you awaken this dojutsu that was already programmed. You know what I'm saying? And there is a possibility that Kawaki could just say hell no to hell with all this shit. Screw all these Atsukis. I'm finna kill Boruto. I'm gonna kill Ada. Finna send Damon to a whole nother dimension. And then I'm finna go kill Amato. And that could be what Kawaki was on his way to go do. And Boruto and them tried to stop him. Or it could be that Amato just literally programs Kawaki to kill Boruto to get that chakra fruit. Because what still does not add up, bro, if all he needed was a Karma to resurrect her, he could have did that. The fact that he restructured and re-put a Karma onto Kawaki means he could have put a Karma on anybody else. Or he could have just straight up asked Jigen, hey bro, I want to test this hypothesis real quick. Can I see if you try to put a Karma onto this body, not only would you resurrect, but could I also get my daughter to resurrect? Because he's trying to say that this new Karma that's on him is not the Ishiki Karma that they just fought so hard to get rid of. This new Karma is a Akabi Karma, or Akibi, or whatever his daughter's name is. He said he already embedded his daughter's memories and stuff inside of Kawaki's Karma. So, I mean, essentially, if it's his daughter's DNA, he could have that same shutdown or same command switch as well. The last, bit of shit I'm gonna talk about is this fuck nigga Amato, bro. He didn't mention to these motherfuckers that he augmented his eyes already. So, I ain't finna say that Amato is Shiba Osuski. It's just the way how his beard looks, bro. I ain't gonna cap with you, bro. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna lie to you. But the way, these Atsukis be having hair, bro. They be having hair, on their head. I don't think I've seen any of them with a beard or a mustache or nothing like that, However, this guy, this Atsuki guy, Shibai, apparently he has a beard. Okay, I take that back. Kenshiki did have a big ass mustache. Alright, I'm sorry. Wrong theory. But, nah, bruh. If Amato went through all this to put Shibai's data or pieces of his body into these cyborg bodies, who's to say he doesn't have this inside of himself already? Yeah, like I said, that was the whole premise of me thinking back to this shit. And like literally, as soon as I saw the panel with the 3 eyes, that's the first thing I thought about was Amato saying that he had augmented his eyes, that he had to change his eyes. So that's why Code had to be looking at Amato's eyes in order to get the limiters rescinded. And I think it was Ada who was the one that told him that, Amato's eyes are not his original eyes, so you couldn't just gouge out his eyes type shit. Like that type of thing. Because that was an idea of Code's, to just go ahead and just rip his eye out. I believe Amato does have some of Shibai's data inside of himself, bro. I mean, it would be foolish not to. If you would go through all this to try to revive your kid, and you put in the data of a god into all these cybernetic beings, why wouldn't you put it inside yourself? Like, who's to say he doesn't already have a karma himself? You dig? People have always been speculating that Amato has a karma, and I mean, it's not far-fetched now after hearing this bullshit ass story about Shibai. And apparently the name Shibai is not like one of those folklore names. It's actually a Japanese slang term for like bullshit, or like cap, or like a play, like a story. So he could be he's not lying about Shibai. However, him bringing that up is only to cover up what he himself is actually doing. I mean, cause why? I mean, Amato himself even says like he was trying to play God, and at this point you're trying to play God, you done took down a god, and you literally told Naruto and Sasuke you gonna teach them how to kill an Inosuke, meaning you might have prior knowledge, and if you have prior knowledge you might be one of them. This has been a crazy chapter, and I love it. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Y'all please like, please subscribe. I'm gonna have some more discussion videos about this. I just had to get this all out in this manga review this time. 10 out of 10 chapter. If y'all ain't read Boruto, please read it now. Y'all got 75 chapters to catch up on. It's your boy Splendid Gamer. We'll be back with more, you dig? Bye.